Welcome to my channel. If you looked at my last few videos, you'll see I've made a few videos which are quite political. I don't normally get into political stuff and wish to stay away from political issues on my channel. But this one I have a passion for, because I do believe my country is doing wrong. Now I want to tell you one thing. As I speak right now, humanity has got limited time on this planet. We are fast running out of time and are heading for a nuclear war. As we speak, right now, for every breath you take, right now, a nuclear missile, nuclear war could start. They can end all life on this planet. Now, I do believe that there is some evil force above people on this planet controlling people, because what's happening right now on the planet today does not make any sense and it is very wrong. I do not agree with the war in Ukraine, but there's something behind it, and that something behind it is so evil that I can see why the war has happened in Ukraine. I've got nothing against Russia, and believe it or not, I have nothing against Vladimir Putin. But I disagree with war, I do disagree with killing. But I've done my research and I know what's really happened. Now, before you watch all this biased media news that is anti-Russian, you following all these sanctions, hits against Russia, all the anti-Russian news bulletins they put out against Russia and Vladimir Putin. Before you do this and watch and take in the information from all this biased media, do yourself a favor and do your research. Get behind it and do your research and learn to think for yourself. Just don't listen to news and take that in as what is actually happening, because media companies are controlled by a higher force, people that control media to get into your heads and to trick you into thinking what is happening when that may not be the case. This happened with my family, where I have many brothers, and they, by not standing up for myself, they manipulated things and caused a lot of hate in the family where they don't speak to me, and I've done nothing. But by not standing up for myself, I let all the poison take against me. So there you have things in the family that's not actually the fact, but it's said that way, which turns against me. So I want you to spend the next 1 hour after you're watching this video. I want you to spend the next 1 hour, 3 minutes and 26 seconds watching this video. This video will be one of the most important videos of your life. If you have been watching what's been going on between Russia and Ukraine, NATO, the UK sending weapons to America along into Russia, into Poland, into Ukraine, into Poland, helping the Ukrainians fight the Russians to kill Russian soldiers, the Russian soldiers bombarding Mariupol, Ukraine itself. This video will give you an insight into what's really happened and for how long it's been happening for. You will actually question the validity of NATO and NATO's existence. I know for one thing, I feel that I live in a hostile country, the UK. My country, to me, feels very hostile. We exploit people, we don't think for ourselves, we tend to tag along with the USA, what they've done. And for that example, I can give you the Iraq War, weapons of mass destruction. That's just one example of the evil that we get involved with. Now, the video I'm telling you about, right, I want you to watch, is called The Untold History of NATO and Case for its Abolition. And it's by a YouTube channel called Break through news. Now you sit there and listen to this video, and you understand why I made the past 6 or 7 videos describing my distaste for the way we have treated Russia. I myself have got nothing against Vladimir Putin. I've got nothing against Russian people. I love Russian people. Russian people should be an integral part of our society and economy, and they should be sharing the same securities that we have, and shouldn't feel fearful of us moving forward towards their borders, pointing weapons right at them, and with all this high technology where you can just in 2.5 minutes strike Russia just like that. And there's people on our side that are very, very evil. What I would like to know from NATO is why. Why don't you just come clean with the USA and tell your nation what you really want to do? Just say, I want to take Russia over, and we'll know what you want to do. Just say, I want to take over Russia. We want Russia. We want the minerals. We want the economy. We want to control the whole world. Just say that. At least we'll know, and you're not taking us for fools. But do it this way. NATO and America and my own country, UK, are taking us, the general public, for fools. Just go out there and do your research, and you'll see what I mean. Our country, our leaders are letting us down, and they're behaving like a bunch of drunks, like cowboys, running our planet into a third world nuclear war, where the fighting in the end will make no difference, because there will be no planet. There's only one other thing. Unless there's some other force or other technology that they've got hidden, that they know they can stop all the 6,000 nuclear bombs from Russia, and they're making a move like this. That's the only reason why I can see NATO doing what they're doing, because it's absolutely crazy messing with a nuclear superpower that has so many weapons like that can wipe out mankind, and a country that's not really interested in war. Remember that Russia lost 26 to 28 million people in the Second World War. So why would Russia want another war? They just don't want another war. They've lost many people, and the main thing about this war is Russia and Ukraine are suffering. Ukraine has been left in rubble, and it's getting worse every day. Weapons are being supplied by the United States, UK, to Ukraine to kill Russian soldiers and making this war last longer. The war needs to end. Zelensky needs to give up, or America and the UK needs to use their power to make this war stop. You need to stop it now, or as you may blink and it'll be all over, with a nuclear blast and radiation frying you. So this is my last video I'm making on anything political on my channel. I've given up on anything political, because for me, you make my channel very negative, and I don't want to know about politics, because politics is corrupt. And you just watch this video and you'll see why I made the 7 videos and my thoughts on NATO. And I think humanity is coming to an end. It's coming to an end. If you don't believe me, just look at what's happening. Look at this video, watch all of it, grab yourself some biscuits or some salad or whatever you want to eat. Just sit and watch this video. Hope you enjoy this video, and spread this video, and the channel video, The Untold History of NATO's Case for its Abolition. Spread this video everywhere, worldwide, even to your politicians. For USA, UK and NATO went to war with Iraq, we killed over 1 million people. This is what one calls a war. I would call it an illegal war. The USA knows it, the UK knows it. The politicians at the time, they know it. They have destroyed Iraq and displaced millions of people and killed over 1 million people. Now, why is Vladimir Putin so bad? What is the difference between the USA, UK and NATO, and the war crimes that they have created and committed. Why isn't the ruble a part of world economy? Why are Russia being hit with so many illegal sanctions? All these illegal sanctions, to me, are a declaration of war on Russia. These sort of sanctions are crippling. They're evil. I disagree with war, as I've repeated several times. But behind this war is a reason why the war has happened. There are things and facts that we as the general public don't know and are kept from the truth by the bias media. Please do your research and do not watch these news programs. The only news channel I give credit to on here, which I watch online, is Gravitas, WION. You can't beat doing your own research and to find out what has really happened, why people react in a certain way, why a war has started, why Russia has attacked Ukraine. Ukraine and Russia, to me, are like brother and sister. And to me, the West has moved in on Ukraine. And they've turned them into pawns, like on a pawn board in a chess match. They've played Russia and Ukraine against each other. And they're causing the enemy to fight each other. Now Ukraine's in trouble. We cannot do anything about it because we have messed up big time by expanding too far towards the east, placing dangerous weapons on Russia's borders, creating insecurities, and there's other stuff, believe me, that we don't know about that's happening, which has caused this war. And there's a reason why Vladimir Putin has acted. So when you look at all the news and you see the destruction and death in Ukraine, which is horrific, and you see the suffering of the Ukrainian people, understand why that this has happened, and just don't look at the suffering. Although I ask you to pray for them and to pray for they get some relief, because this is a humanitarian disaster, a humanitarian catastrophe. So it needs the prayers from all the people around the world, and those prayers are for our politicians to act and get rid of the evil that exists in their blood. We have imposed sanctions on Russia, which are going to backfire on us. These sanctions are definitely going to backfire on us. It just doesn't make any sense. The world is already suffering with economic pressures on people's living standards. Gas and energy prices are already high. Manufacturing, the cost of living is quite tough. And we make more problems by behaving a certain way to force a war to happen between Russia and Ukraine. Then we put sanctions on Russia, vicious sanctions, which is an act of war. And these sanctions are going to backfire on us because our oil and gas prices are going to shoot up, making manufacturing and delivery costs expensive as hell. We're all going to struggle. Not just Russia. Of course, Russia will be crippled. The rest of the world's economy will be crippled. The media always paint out China to be evil, North Korea to be evil, when we don't look at our own selves. The country I live in, the UK, who I right now feel disgusted and very much not wanting to live here anymore. We really don't like this place. We live in a hostile and unfriendly country, and we have the power to stop all this war, and we don't use it. And this is what gets me. In these modern times, we're not living in the Second World War period. We're living in the Boris Johnson period now. We have the power to stop wars. Instead, the British government had ministers making some horrible remarks, attacking Vladimir Putin. This is even before the war, even before the war in Ukraine started. Before and then after. And when the war started, they never did anything to try and lessen or try and stop the war. They just threw more insults at Vladimir Putin and never understand his reason and explain his reasons and say, well, we can do this, let's try and stop this war. We apologize to you, Russia, for pushing NATO on your doorstep. Now please stop the war. Let's try something. Let's try something. We do not want a war and it to escalate any further or any more deaths. We care for the Ukrainian people. We don't want any more deaths. Now I think Zelensky, this is my opinion. Maybe I need to be educated on something else, but this is just from my opinion, what I know. Zelensky has been fooled, and Zelensky is acting very dumb. He does not really care about his people, because if he really cared about the welfare of his people, he would make this war end very fast. He would, without any hesitation, would have got to the table with Russia and NATO and tell NATO from the beginning that we do not want you, because this is going to affect the way things are with Russia. We want our freedom and our liberty to be able to trade and to be a free independent nation, and we can't do this with NATO on our doorstep because it makes Russia uncomfortable. And I can understand Russia's point of view, and this is what Zelensky should have done. Get on the table, get there with Vladimir Putin. Instead, Zelensky acted cocky, and he is still cocky, and asking for weapons from America and NATO, UK. What's happening? More and more Russian soldiers are dying. More and more Ukrainian cities and towns are getting bombarded with thousands of people being killed. More people are being killed in Ukraine than they're letting on the news. Thousands are gone. Many people displaced and have left the country. And more waiting to die. And this Zelensky is very stupid. He's still playing like a martyr, making like he's a hero when he's dumb. Letting all these people die every single day. You cannot win a war against a mighty power like Russia. Russia will not lose this war. They will level Ukraine to the floor if they cannot get what they come for. They want peace and a security reassurance. If they don't get that, they will level Ukraine to the floor. They do not want any US, UK or NATO influence on their doorstep. And it's as plain as simple as that. Every country deserves to have peace of mind and security. Every country deserves that. So the Ukrainian people has been misled by their leader. They've been let down by their leader. Understand that the Ukrainian people do not want the Russian Empire. That's understandable. But the leader of the Ukrainian people brought on the Russian Empire to their doorstep now by inviting NATO in. That is the problem with the leader of Ukraine. I'm sure when he goes to bed at night, he must see this. I'm just waiting for the day he comes along and ends this war against Russia. But I think it's too late now. Russia's lost so many men. They've come in too far. And how this war will end is two ways. Russia will level Ukraine to the floor. They might even hit a nuclear power station and setting off a disaster that wipes out most of Europe with radioactive fallout. The second thing is, and it's one which I reckon is very imminent now, is a nuclear war. Which will start off by a tactical weapon being fired from Russia to anywhere in the UK or NATO. And then you'll get retaliation. Then you have the bigger nuclear missiles going off. Then goodbye to Mother Earth. Goodbye to humanity and goodbye to Mother Earth. There is some evil force above controlling all governments. I truly believe it. And these governments in the West are being controlled. They're being controlled by some alien force, making them do this evil and trying to end all life on our planet. Because this just does not make sense at all. Why would NATO be behaving this way? Because the end result is what you're fighting for or what you're trying to gain will be wiped out by a nuclear war. Я не знаю. Я не знаю.
A special thank you from the heart